Welcome to the Unapologetically Unstoppable Women podcast, the show where ambition is celebrated, not silenced. Lori, Ann, and Angie are your hosts, and each week we dive into real, unfiltered conversations about women doing extraordinary things in their lives and in their businesses. Here we don't shrink to fit expectations or apologize for our success. We share stories that are inspiring, hilarious, and always authentic, because becoming unstoppable isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and join our community of women who know that no is a complete sentence and there are no limits to what we can achieve together. Yep. Yeah, it's so funny. It's almost like we get so many mixed messages, and it's like, be loud and bold, but not too much. Speak your mind, but make sure you're in the right room. And it's like we're always getting these mixed messages. Yes, we know that you can be all you can be, but make sure you take care of everything at home first. It's like we're always getting these conflicting messages. So it's no wonder why some women, play small, they hold themselves back, it scares the bejesus out of them to step forward or to speak out. And like, I was in a meeting the other day, I'm on a new committee that I'm very proud of, and it's the Athena International Awards, and and this award's been around for over 40 years, and they celebrate women doing amazing things in their local communities. And so I love everything that this award stands for, and I'm proud to be a member of the committee now. And so there were, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 of us in this meeting, and 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 I'm new, so I was asking a lot of questions, and I could tell that I was irritating some of the people or some of the women who were in the room. And I said, look, I need to seek to understand. I'm new to this. I want to make sure that I understand, because I want to do this prestigious award the justice it deserves. I want to represent it in a way it deserves to be represented. And the intent behind it is so powerful. And the recipients of it, it had been a popularity contest, and that is not the spirit in which it's intended. And so I want to take it back to its roots, and I was very vocal about that. And I got some side eyes, because and I was the only one speaking out. And I was like, and I thought about it on the way home. And sometimes I think, because sometimes I can speak my mind, and shocker. And I thought about it on the way home. And this is a tool that my dad taught me to always evaluate those engagements, and is there anything I need to make right or apologize for, or did I show up as my best self, and, all those things. So I'm driving home. It's about 15-minute drive. And I was really thinking, and I was like, you know what? No, why should I get the side eye because I ask questions? Why should I be judged because I ask questions? You might not like the questions that I ask, but I'm seeking to understand. So why is that bad? And so I felt really good about the meeting. I felt really good about the questions that I asked. And after my self-evaluation, I was like, no, I can be proud of how I engaged and stuff. And interestingly enough, one of the members reached out to me and said, you said exactly what I was thinking. And I was like, so there you go, right? And so sometimes when your heart's telling you to ask the questions or speak out, you don't know. And I wonder how many other women thought the same thing and just hasn't said it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet there. Go ahead, Ann.
Was your follow-up question to her, well, then why didn't you support me? Why did you sit there quiet if you were thinking the same thing? Because I think I would have had to wonder, what were you afraid of? She had the leader. All she had to do was jump on board.
Yeah. Well, she worries a lot about what people think, and I know that about her, so I didn't ask the question. But yeah, go ahead, Ann. Or
Yeah. Yeah, and very similarly, I was going to say, I wonder how many other women agreed with you, but were afraid to say so,
yeah, yep,
afraid to go
and
against the grain. Mhm.
yep, because the looks were obvious. I mean, they weren't shy about the looks, and there was a part of me I honestly wanted to say, like, just say it. Stop giving me the looks and just say it. Like, have the guts to say it. And then I
Yeah.
was like, that's too confrontational, Angie. Just shut your pie hole. And it's all going to work out in the end. And it's a big learning curve because we're the ball had been dropped significantly over the past few years. So we're really starting from scratch. And so I just want to make sure that we start off on really good foundation. But it's so interesting that sometimes whenever you're either creating something new or reevaluating something or jumping into something, and you're the newbie to the group and you ask questions, how many times we sit back and just say, oh, well, I'm new, so I'm just going to sit back and observe.
I've done that before.
And I wonder too, were there people on that committee that were part of the reason it kind of that the award changed? And so now they're feeling challenged because they did let it possibly go in a wrong direction. And now they have to take some blame for that instead
Yeah,
of going,
own up to it.
you're right, we did this for the wrong reasons. I support you getting it back on track.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that was some
That's
of it for sure.
Always hard to self-reflect and realize, wow, I was part of the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it takes a lot of guts to own up to it too, because
yeah,
especially in front of a lot of other people, because it's scary. It can be scary to say, you know what, I'm guilty. I did that. I don't know why. I apologize. I got caught up in the moment, but it's tough to do that. It takes a lot of guts to do that.
hmm and I wonder, and this is something that I thought about on my way home, is because it was a room full of women, that had there been men in there, had it how I mean, and it would make sense for this, but I'm just thinking in another
Mhm.
scenario, because the Athena is all about women empowerment and stuff. Um, but in another scenario, if there were men in the room, um, how women would have chose to react. Would they have just sat back and let the men take over? I always wonder about
Oh,
those scenarios, and would they have been more quiet? Because a lot of women spoke throughout this thing. It wasn't just me, but they weren't asking the questions. They were just making statements, and some were trying to answer my questions, but more times than not, it was like, well, I don't have that information. I don't know that information. We don't have that information, that type of thing. But it just makes me wonder, and we'll never know, but how sometimes the dynamics in the room um, can play a factor in the choices that we make and what we choose to say or not say.
You know, that reminds me of during the elections, there was actually a commercial that was telling women, it was speaking to women, saying, your ballot is your ballot. It's a secret ballot. You don't have to tell anybody who you voted for. And I'm thinking, do women really need to be told that they have a choice in the ballot box? That my heart sank when I heard that. I thought, are women being bullied so much by friends, family, spouses, significant others, that they're afraid to vote their conscience versus, just doing, and that's not freedom.
No.
Right? That is not freedom. We are free to make our own choices, especially when it comes to an election, whether it's a local election, a school board election, a voting for Athena election. Vote your conscience, vote your heart. And it killed me. My heart, like I said, my heart sunk. I thought, how can in America there still be so many women who feel like they can't make their own choices?
Yeah, interesting.
I feel like I have been so blessed, but I'm so like sheltered from anything like that because I would never put myself in that situation to allow being controlled or,
Right.
having somebody hold power over me. So, but I guarantee there's still situations like that all the time, whether it's secular, abusive situations. People live very, very differently than I
Yes.
do. I am safe. I get to speak my mind. I get to go out and do things. I get to make my mistakes without, getting in trouble over it. But I know there's a lot of people that don't live in that situation. And I think I would be shocked probably to learn how many women get told what to think, what to do, how to behave, how to vote. So yeah, I do think that's an important message that you don't have to tell. To go do your thing, you don't have to tell. But I think it's very easy to get brainwashed. I mean, what kind of things were you taught as you were growing up that you just believed because of the person that told you, and you never questioned it? So if you've just believed and now you're like, wait, do I still believe that? Did I ever believe that? And if you don't take the time, and I know we covered this in another one, if you don't take the time to challenge what you've been told and how you feel about it, then you'll just keep going along to get along. And I don't live that way, but I'm sure a lot of people do, both men and women.
Yeah. Good point. Sometimes men are badgered as well.
I interviewed someone yesterday, and she runs a podcast. Her and a male counterpart run a podcast all about dealing with narcissism, and how having, whether it's a narcissistic, parent, friend, significant other, and, there are narcissistic women, there are narcissistic men out there, and then dealing with them. And we had this it was a really engaging, and you're not free to have your own thoughts. You're not free to act how you would like to act. And sometimes you're not even free to dress how you want to dress. It's like, this is what I've picked out for you today, and that type of thing. And it's so interesting. I just had that conversation yesterday, and here we're talking about things like this today, and how the narcissist does take away that freedom, can often pull you away from your family and friends to keep you for themselves, and all the different things. And it's, it happens all day, every day. And it hurts my heart. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Unapologetically Unstoppable Women podcast. If today's conversation fired you up, inspired you, or made you laugh out loud, don't forget to hit subscribe and share this episode with another unstoppable woman in your life. Remember, you don't have to apologize for your ambition, and you never have to shrink to fit someone else's expectations. Keep showing up, keep breaking barriers, and keep living life on your own terms. Until next time, stay unapologetic, stay unstoppable.